Hey guys, this is Francis with 10X Real Estate and Nexa Mortgage, and I am here with my good friend and fellow real estate investor, Leka.
Hi, Fran. I love this babe.
Oh
so
my gosh.
It makes me so happy to do this with her.
This has been so long overdue, and I'm so excited to be here with Leka. Leka, do you remember a long time ago? I think it was back in, I've known you for years, right? Like back in 2018 and 2019.
Yeah.
And we were at a women's investor meetup. And then I did a presentation on multifamily. And I was so nervous that day. Like I hadn't done a lot of presentations, but I was so nervous. But Leka came up to me at the end and she was like, "Fran, you were amazing. You're such a rock star." And that made my confidence go up so much.
I'm so glad because I would never say that to someone if I truly didn't believe it. So you were, I'm sure, were a rock star.
I just love Leka, love her energy and how she commits so much to the community. And yeah, I'm just so glad that you're here. And I'd love to just ask you questions about your background and your company and, you know, what your future goals are. So
Love it.
Leka, can you tell us a little bit about how you started in real estate and what you're doing right now?
Yeah, so how I started in real estate was I decided it was a good idea to go flip a house. And that's what I did. I flipped a house, and fast forward to today, I have flipped over 100 homes. I own commercial real estate, multifamily real estate, all in the greater Seattle area. And it's been quite the journey. And this is actually one of the buildings I own in downtown Seattle. It's right by South Lake Union. So one of my favorite projects I've ever bought and fixed up to date.
So Leka, why is it one of your favorite? Can you tell us a little bit about the numbers and what it's used for now?
Okay. It's one of my favorites because it's like my third child. It has been so difficult. I've never done a commercial office building before, and I bought this in the middle of COVID, fully vacant, and it took me about a year and a half to fix it up to what it is today. So it just took a lot of time, but today we use this space to run events. Check out my meetup, Real Estate at Work, and the remaining floors are all rented out to office. So clearly office is not one of anyone's favorite asset classes right now. So it's been a challenging ride, but so many learnings along the way, which I'm really grateful for.
Good. And then, Leka, can you tell a little bit more about the space and how many people does it hold and what kind of events can be used here? And then also, how can they reach you if they want to get into the space?
So this space is called Atmosphere. It has stunning views of the water. And this space standing can hold about 150 people and seated can hold about 80 people. We have our website, atmosphereseattle.com. So go check us out on the website. You can book events through the website. We also have an Instagram page called Atmosphere Seattle. Go check it out. Go give us a follow.
And then the other thing is, I know, Leka, you started off with doing flips and now you're in multifamily and commercial. Can you talk about a little bit about that journey and some of the things that you would want any new investor to know about what the highs and lows are with real estate investing?
Yes. So single family flips are so much easier to find, to renovate, and to sell. With commercial real estate investing, it's a lot harder to just understand the scope of the project and to stabilize properties because they're larger properties. You have to have a really good property management team in addition to everything else. In addition to deal finders, contractors, brokers, you also have to have really good property managers to actually stabilize the property. And then the whole numbers aspect of it is also, you know, it's a whole other ball game because you have to now take into account the P&L, the rent rolls, how all of that ties into your bottom line. So it's just a different way of investing and a different scope of knowledge.
Yeah. And so I also started in the single family space with buy and hold. And when I first started it, I thought, well, this is great. I'm going to have this generational wealth. But then I also realized that I wasn't getting that much cash flow.
Yes.
And in Seattle, it's just so hard if you were to buy a single family home to get cash flow from it. And so I started pivoting to multifamily.
Yeah.
And what I like about multifamily is the cash flow, the appreciation, and then also the tax benefits for it. What would you say for, your experience with the multifamily world? Like, how are you finding your deals, and what are some of the things you're looking for when you're buying multifamily?
Fran actually hit the nail on the head. In this market, it's really the greater Seattle market, it's really hard to cash flow. So the way that I'm able to appreciate and also cash flow is by buying my deals extremely distressed, because that's my background, is buying distressed properties. So buying a deal super distressed, I am instantly able to raise equity and value, but also cash flow it. So it's important to kind of understand your own wheelhouse and how you can use that towards your advantage. So I buy all of my deals distressed. So if you guys have any multifamily deals, bring it to us, because we are always in the market to buy them.
So, Leka, what kind of multifamily are you investing in? And are you mostly investing just in-state, or are you looking out of state as well?
That's a great question, Fran. I am mostly investing in state. I do anything from 1 to 4 units because you can still get a conventional mortgage on it. But I also don't mind going up to 30 units because that just means more scale and better cash flow.
So, given the high interest rates that we have right now, what are you doing differently, if you are doing anything differently? And what kind of advice would you give to new investors with this market and with all the insecurity that they have with investing?
Okay, so that's another great question. 3 years ago, we had very low interest rates, but a lot of competition, which drove the pricing up. Today, we have high interest rates. The price is not that much lower. So obviously, you were in a better position to buy last year or the year before last. Now, given that we're in this market, I would say no market is bad to invest in real estate, because ultimately it is going to appreciate, and every market comes with its own advantages and disadvantages. In this market, me personally, I am still buying as though I was buying 5 years ago, but I am putting a lot of thought into fixing up, especially if it's a fix and flip deal. I'm putting a lot more thought into how I want to fix up these homes and how I can add sizzle features where if there's a buyer going out to look at 7 properties in that neighborhood, they would pick mine over everything else. So I'm eliminating all of those negatives and then fixing it up to the highest potential of the lot size.
And one of the other things that I tell a lot of people too is to look at the big picture. So even though interest rates are high right now, look at the big picture, because there could be some advantages in the future. Let's say you bought this and yes, interest rates are high, but there might be some sort of developmental play with it or value add. And so if, let's say, you can rezone the property to a commercial property and develop onto it another time, then take advantage of that opportunity, because 100%. Now there's not that many bidding wars and competition, and you can have a better advantage than other investors. So, Leka, these projects require a lot of capital. You need capital for rehab and the purchase of it. How are you getting funding for these type of projects? And are you using private money lenders? And how can they reach you if they want to invest with you?
Honestly, each of the projects that I do are over $1 million in this market. Everything from acquisition to rehab to resale. And so I raise a lot of money through my social media, through mentoring people. And I've had some great investors that come along for the ride, and they get so involved in my projects that they end up becoming real estate investors for life. And that's the kind of person that I want to associate with, is someone that not just wants to lend their money, but also wants to learn and be educated. And that's what they do when they come partner with me on a project. So feel free to reach out to me on my Instagram or my LinkedIn. And you too, you raise capital for your deals too, right, Fran?
Yeah, so we do. Right now, we have a hotel conversion project going on. And
that's cool.
I always tell people that even if they don't have the capital, but they want to get involved, reach out to us so that they can learn. They could participate in the webinars, in our meetings, just so that they can understand what the underwriting looks like, what the financing looks like. And when they are ready, then they can invest. Some people want to just invest passively because they have a W-2 job. And so, they're not going to quit their full-time W-2 job to invest, and they don't know how to do it because they're beginners. So they prefer to put their money into someone like Leka and I, where we're experts in investing, and we'll make their money grow for them. So they like it that way, where they can still do their W-2 job and not have to worry about all the little nuances of investing.
Yeah, and there's a lot of nuances. There's a lot of mistakes that even we make along the way, but you get the front row seat for what we're doing so that you don't have to make those mistakes in your real estate investing journey.